Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and welcome to part 7 of Written in Ink. This is a free 8-part journal making series that tells the story of a writer who is experiencing a serious case of writer's block and has a deadline approaching. Their mentor reaches out with a little assistance, and that is when the magic happens. This is a free project series that is going out to my email list, so each Friday I'll be sending a new part of the story and guiding you through building the interactive journal pages. If you're not on the email list and you'd like to join us, just use the link in the description down below to sign up and get parts 1 through 7 sent to you immediately. Let's go over the supplies you're going to need for part 7. Again, we are needing a liquid glue with a fine point. You can also use a glue stick for some aspects of this project. I like Beacon Fabri-Tac for my liquid glue and Uhu for my glue stick. You'll need scissors to cut everything out, and I recommend a bone folder so that you can make nice creases, but if you don't have one, you can use the back of your scissors or your thumbnail. An optional add-on is vintage photo distress ink. I like to use it on the edges of everything. I've used it on everything here except for this piece, which I'm going to do a little tearing on today. So I'm going to ink that after I finish tearing it. But everything else has vintage photo distress ink around the edges. Part 7 has 3 pages and 1 backer paper, and I print these all on either 110-pound cardstock or 32-pound paper. Each page is marked as to whether it should be printed on paper or cardstock, and whether or not you need to print the backer paper on the reverse side. The only one you absolutely really should print on is the opposite side of this notes page, so that the inside of your notebook is finished and has a texture inside. Everything else is optional. I did not do the back of these today, but if you want, when these pages are flipped up in the notebook, if you want those finished, you'll want to print the back of this paper page. And I did print the back of the page with the journal entry so that that would be finished. So it's up to you if you want to print the backs of all of these or just the necessary page. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move all of my pieces off to the side and grab my journal. And let's flip to the next blank page, which is right here. So I'm going to start at the top of the page today with some of our embellishments. So we're going to need these 3 pieces. We've got the hand that's writing, the ending, the text here, and this book piece. And I'm going to tear this book piece. I think I'm going to do a fun angle today. Do something along those lines. So it looks like this on the page. And then I'll use my distress ink around the edges. I like this because it makes some definition between the different textures and pages. It makes things look more dimensional on the page. And I'm going to glue that on right about there. Your glue stick will work really well for this. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. That's just a preference of mine. It's a little faster for me for video purposes. And I'm going to line this up all the way up in the top corner. So to the top and the right of the page. And then I'll grab my bone folder and smooth that all down. And then I think I'd like to put this hand piece so that it hangs off and it creates some dimension. Yours may or may not do that depending on how you tore your paper. I'm going to place mine this way. You have a little bit of freedom here to be creative and do what you want. And then the ending is going to go here. You could put it up here as well. And now that I'm doing that, I think I like that more. And so I'm going to do that. There are no hard and fast rules with these projects. When I tell you to put something somewhere, if you're like, I don't like that, don't do it. Put it where you want to put it. Next, I'm going to grab the telephone pieces. Our main character has finally maybe smartened up a little bit or realized how deep of a pickle they've gotten themselves into and are calling their mentor for help. So we have this fun telephone pockets that's double layered. And I'm going to start with the large one, and we're going to glue on the 2 straight sides to create that pocket. So a line of glue along each of those. And I'm going to put that all the way into the corner today. Next, I'm going to grab the other telephone pocket. Same thing. The glue is going to go along the 2 straight sides. Like so. And then we want to line the print up. So it should just nestle right into the corner, but if for some reason yours got a little off when you cut it, look at the print and try to line up the graphic. Now things are going into this pocket and it's not a deal breaker if things don't line up perfectly. But if you're fussy like me and you want it to be just right, then try to line those two up. So when everything is out, you have the full telephone image. Now that the page is done, I'm going to set my journal off to the side and let's work on the notebook. So this is going to look very familiar. We did this at the beginning. We're returning to the same notebook and our writer is writing new, fresh notes that maybe their current experience has helped inspire them in a different direction. So here are 4 little note pages that are going to go inside. You'll want to fold along this line and this line. This is going to fold up and then this down. So we're making that matchbook closure again. And I'm just going to open this up and you know the drill on this one, a little bit of glue right by that fold. We just want enough so that this is going to stay up, but this flap is going to become a catch to keep our matchbook style closure shut. Then I'm going to get my pages, and if you would like to keep them in order, they do have an order for each of the rooms that our character is setting back to write. So we have the cabin, the ocean, the Gothic library, and then the garden would be the order they go in. And we're going to start with the garden first. And I'm going to glue this in. It can glue all the way down or it can glue just at the top, your choice. I'm going to put that in right like that. And then you may want to let this dry just a little bit before adding the additional pages. Do the Gothic library next. Again, glue at the top. And layer that right on top of the previous one. Nice and neat. Mine kind of slipped out of position there. Then the ocean. And finally, the cabin. These are little endings to each of the stories. And then once all of this is dry, don't do it too soon. If you have glue that seeps out of here and you close this, it's going to glue it shut. But once it is all done, you can get this closure to close. Now, if this isn't wanting to pop under, you might need to do a little lift along this edge just to curl it upward a smidge so that you can slide that underneath. And there is our new notebook showing our character's growth. I'm going to put this one to the side and we've got some tabs to apply. So let's start with this one. It's the books with the postage stamp, and this is another fold over tab. I'm going to fold that right in half and put it on top of our journal entry. Just going to apply glue to the inside. Fold that right over the top of the entry, centered up. And then we have the 2 owl wax seals. Those are mirrored imaged, so you should be able to put them back to back. And we're going to glue them as a tab onto the top of this card. So I'm actually, if I can hold on to it, I'm actually going to put my glue here. Make sure my owl is right side up. I'm going to place this about halfway. So the tag is about halfway up the seal. I'm going to turn over, put a little glue down here, and then place the other owl on the other side. There we go. So now there's this fun wax seal tab on this tag. Let's go back to our journal and we can start putting things inside. Make sure your pockets are dry or else you might glue your things inside of your journal. And I'm going to put my journal entry right in here. The notebook is going to go in with it. And then in this little pocket, we have our last two pieces of ephemera. And that is it for part 7 of Written in Ink. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. We have one more part left. I hope you've enjoyed this story. We have a little ending to put at the back of our journal back here. We're going to do a full spread, and that will be next week. So I'm looking forward to sharing the ending of the story with you. And then I don't know what I'm doing after that. So you'll just have to, I guess, stay signed up and find out. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and I will see you in the next video.